All right, welcome
Welcome.
to Miki and Olivia Shoot the Breeze.
I think our name changes every time.
What is it?
It's a different variation every time.
What is our name?
It's Shooting the Breeze at Home with Miki and Olivia. But
if I get a couple of those words in there, yeah, I always get some version of it, hopefully, right? So you just keep me honest. We're filming in a different location today.
Yeah.
It's normally we have done it on a Friday, but it was a crazy week last week. So we're here on a Monday, and this is our house, my house. Filming a podcast on a Monday, it's a lot.
It does. It feels like a lot to get ready and get everything set on a Monday.
But listen, sis, that's showbiz. And if there's one thing I know, it's the demands of Hollywood. So. No, but are you just a little intimidated by some of the nice people that are commenting?
Yes, like it's the sweetest thing ever. We're so thankful.
No, like you want to apologize. I'm sorry for wasting a half hour of your life.
Exactly.
And you're like a real full-fledged grown-up with responsibilities. And so, yeah, so we are, I feel so like grateful. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just, yeah, warms our hearts.
It does.
So we've been busy. We had a crazy week last week. What we're working on is we can finally talk about it. Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares.
We can finally let the cat out of the bag.
I know, and we keep saying that, but because we know that's a joke.
Yes.
Nobody cares about our secret project, but we didn't know if we could talk about it. But we're working on a beautiful project, whole house furnishing and getting it ready for short-term to become a short-term rental. I absolutely love this work.
It feels like a dream being able to do this.
Yeah. Again, kind of like, it's like imposter syndrome 1,000%.
Yeah.
Like we're tasked with creating inviting spaces, and kind of just have been given free reign, which is incredible, so fun, also stressful.
Totally. Yeah.
And it's really all I can think about, and and that is the ADHD, take a drink. That is the hallmark of my ADHD, right?
Yes. That's your pattern.
Yeah.
It's hyper fixate on something. That's all you think about. That's all you're doing.
Yeah. Everything goes out the window. But so in most respects, it's terrible. But in some respects, it's can be very helpful when you're working on a project you're passionate about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because it's a lot. It's a lot to furnish an entire house and try to create a space that, you know what you like, but like, are they going to like it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm so grateful that I have you.
It's been really, really fun.
Yeah.
And we talked about this. It's nice working with each other because we can be honest with each other. Like if I send you something that you don't really like, or you send me something that I don't really like, we don't have to sugarcoat it with each other. We can just be like, yeah, no, I don't think that's going to work in the space. And neither of us is taking it personally.
Right. I wasn't sure at first because you were so positive about everything I was sending you. And I'm like, I have to check in if her people pleasing is, she's not people pleasing with me, is she? Because that is not helpful, which it's not helpful to anyone. So we should learn, we should take that and apply it to all of our other work relationships. People probably want to hear what you really think. But the problem is sometimes we don't know what we think.
That's like the majority of the time, I feel like, when I'm working with other people. I don't have a strong opinion one way or another.
So we're always going to be affirmative because, we're like, yeah, I could see that,
Exactly.
It's not very often they have a strong negative opinion. But I had to check in with you. Are you just people pleasing? And then you said you weren't. No, I was thinking it. And then on something I sent you, you were like, I don't think that's going to work in the space. I'm like, oh, thank goodness she's not just, we just have similar taste.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
most of the things I send you, you like, and vice versa. So yeah, that's the exciting project, and we'll probably show pictures of it. And it's keeping me up at night in the best way. It's really fun. And then we had a big closing last week. Beautiful, wonderful seller, and working with our buyers. So that's the business thing. So there's this going out of business sale in this place in town in Baraboo, and we're trying to save our client money. And that's the other thing when you're working with someone else, the pressure of, like, I feel it more than when we're working for ourselves, like not wasting their dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to find, and in some cases, as our dad has pointed out to me, in some cases to our detriment, like, he's like, are you sure driving 65 miles one way to pick up this, this chair that's going to save you $10 is the best use of your time?
That's
Like,
true. Yeah.
that's, the math ain't always math, and when it comes to when it comes to my decision making. But anyway, we were at this going out of business sale, and why was everybody so cranky there?
I don't know if they were all just trying to get a deal and feeling competitive or what, but
Do
the
you,
vibes were off.
yeah, do you ever go into a space and I like to think like and I think you have it too. I know the word's been overused, but we're empaths. And I'm sorry if people don't like that word, but there's science behind it. I can walk into a room and I can feel the energy before a word comes out of anybody's mouth. This
Totally.
used to happen at youth. You want to feel horrendous energy? Walk into a youth wrestling tournament, and you that is some of the worst energy. Like, you,
Really?
yes, and it's because you have all these parents that are like in mother father bear mode, and
Mm.
everybody's got this, like, set look on their face. Nobody's like, don't walk through a youth wrestling tournament and be like, hey, how you doing, and see what you get back. Yeah, everybody's like, thinks they're fighting for the Olympic gold medal, and it's just, yeah. So anyway, that's what it felt like, a youth wrestling tournament at the Red Shed. And people were we I walked up to this thing. I didn't even want it, and some lady like cut me off, and she was like, she's the same lady we encountered in the parking lot that was like, she's gonna run us over.
Yeah.
So anyway, we both felt it, and it was making me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So we were both feeling nervous, and then we check out, and
Before we checked out, we're like, should we just go put everything back and leave?
yeah,
Because we just kind of wanted out of there.
yeah. And then we try to check out, and we're the the owner's telling us it's okay to Venmo, and then so that's what we told the lady who was helping us check out, which, pissed her off, honestly.
Yes, she was not pleased.
So then I'm like, okay, sorry, we'll put it back. So anyway, it was just comical. And then we were walking out feeling nervous, and I'm like, what, can you finish the story?
Yes, so we're checking out and we're about to grab our things and leave, and you're like, okay, have a great day, to the cashier, and I go, you too. Because
And she didn't say anything, and then you just, by reflex, you're like, wait.
yeah, it was reflex. It was like, I don't even know. I was just trying to make up for the lack of positivity that was in
Yeah.
that building.
My little greeting fell flat, and you were like, you just by reflex responded, you too. Okay, thanks, Olivia. And then we walked, yeah. So it was just a funny encounter, but that's what we've been doing a lot of lately, is tracking down odds and ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
Yes, it's so fun. It is very time consuming though.
Mm,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah, it's like and then this morning you show me, you're like, oh, I've got the perfect thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was communicating with that seller this morning. It's
Yes.
funny. So okay, we got a big thing to talk about next. Do you remember last time we made a joke of it? You were like, we're gonna talk about makeup, fashion,
Fashion and depression.
depression. We're just gonna Like those are all three things are like it's like Sesame Street, which one of these things is not
It's not.
like the others.
Yes. Yeah.
Um yeah. And so I really wanted to circle back to that because I so far every one of the people that listen to us, they're so sweet. They don't call us out. But I'm like, number one, you don't just like take 2 seconds to talk about depression. Number two, when I said I thought about this all week, I overthought, like I implied, I was talking about my mom and how she's had this wonderful like temperament and like how she's so curious. I was not implying that being curious is like a cure for depression. I'm so aware that depression is like chemical
Mm-hmm.
and like you're not just going to get a little dose of curiosity to get your depression healed. And yeah, so because we've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people have. And one of the reasons I want to chat about it is because one of the things that doesn't make sense in this world to me is, and I think your generation is calling BS on this, and I love to see it, is I feel like people aren't, they think these things, mental health is like a character flaw, and they're not being like, I just think we should be as open and honest and just like matter of fact about it as we are about, everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like when things are hidden, they grow, they grow in the dark and they
Mm-hmm.
become scary and like so I wanted to circle back to that.
Mm-hmm.
And because okay, so here's my story. When you actually when I had you, I had never even I don't even know that I had ever heard the word depression. And that's the honest truth. And I don't know, I had you maybe 29 or something. I'd never heard the word depression. So gave birth to you, was absolutely uh, on freaking cloud nine because I had this baby girl. Then, like, you were born in June. By August, I was really, I was in a bad place, and I think it was hormonal. It was whatever. All of a sudden, and things just kept getting worse and worse. Um, and I got to the point where I was not sleeping a wink. And part of it, it was this deep anxiety. I was so worried about you that I couldn't fall asleep and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't. So it was this whole thing. And I remember like driving from Portage to Baraboo. If you don't know, that's like, 15 miles. And almost being incapacitated with fear because I thought, what if I accidentally drive off the road?
Mm-hmm.
And it became this debilitating, these nonsensical fears. So it was growing and building. And part of it, I will tell you, part of it stemmed from being a people pleaser. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't able to articulate what I needed to someone we know and love. so there were all sorts of things I'd do differently if I could go back. So by the time the end of the summer came, I was in a dark place. And I remember we were celebrating somebody's birthday at a restaurant with Grandma Vi, Grandma's mom, and all my sisters. And I had brought you with me. And all of a sudden, we were, they're expecting me to be silly and funny, like I
Mm-hmm.
love to be.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I just burst into tears and put my head down on my arm at the table and just started sobbing. And I didn't, I didn't, it was like pressure that was building up. And then pull my head up and I look around and every single one of them is bawling their eyes out. It was like that. Yeah, it was sister power. It was like this empathy. Um, and part of what kicked that moment off was my sister Heidi was snuggling you And I was watching the interaction. It was so authentic. She was so gushing over you. And I was like, I can't access those feelings right now.
Mm.
I'm looking at her loving my baby girl, and I'm like, I was just kind of, I don't know. So I don't know why, how, where. I think it was hormonal. I think it was lack of sleep, whatever. So, um, so I went to the doctor, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, long story longer, I got on medication and was on it for like 4 years. And really, it didn't bring me back fully to who I, think I am, but it like helped bring those dark, low places back up to in balance.
Mhm.
And I could function. Um, so is that fair? Like I just wanted people to know, like, I would never. Oh, I wanted to say this. In that process, I was reaching out for help because I'm like, you know, good on all these people who suffer in silence. I am not about to suffer in silence. I couldn't suffer in silence if I tried. I'm like, hey, this is what's happening. Like, I'm scared. And oh my gosh, women of the older generation came out of the woodwork with their own stories.
Mm.
And I'm like, how did you guys go through this? Like, I've only known you as this happy, wonderful mother to my friends. Like, it wasn't a thing people talked about.
Mhm.
So postpartum depression is what that was.
Mhm.
And if I would ever would have had a fourth baby, they say one way to avoid postpartum depression is to plan for it. So that's why I'm like, oh, we're talking about this. Because yeah, because if I would have, ever had a fourth baby, I would have been like, okay, let's plan for this. And then if I don't go through it, great. But if I do, I've got, all these things in place.
Mhm.
So did you know that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've talked about it before.
Did you know the part about sitting at a restaurant?
No, that was the part that was new to me.
Yeah. So in that, I'm sharing it just to know, like, I know how, like, I thought I didn't know if I would have to go to a hospital or what. It was serious. So I don't mess around with, like, I know depression is not a state of mind or a choice or whatever. So that just took us way deep. Now let's go, as we have, what have I taught you about depression? Like, what I would love to know what you know about it and how to handle it.
The couple of times that I've been really low, we've discovered that, well, we talked about it last week. The being curious thing it helps a lot. And the one time I remember being the lowest probably is the thing that most brought me out of it was keeping myself super busy and coming up with a fake schedule of things to do, like going to Hobby Lobby or researching some kind of craft that I can do, um, painting a canvas for wall art, all of these things that didn't really need to get done, but I made a to do list of things that I was going to do to keep myself busy. And at the same time, I was processing those emotions while keeping myself busy. Like it wasn't necessarily a way to suppress those emotions, it was a way for me to not just sit and be miserable. Like I remember doing a craft, painting a canvas, and then I had to take a break and cry. I was on the kitchen floor and cry, and we kind of processed what I was going through. And then it was like, okay, back to the art project now. Like it's a back and forth, and it's not a, rather than like a sit and dwell, which I think there's a time for that as well. But eventually, it's useful to try and keep yourself busy and yeah, go through the waves of emotions.
Yeah. I have to say, as a mother, and anyone who's a mother knows this, that was definitely one of the worst times in my life as well as yours. you think it's hard to go through it yourself and watching your kids. And a lot of times, excuse me, in that case, like you're kind of hovering over, a certain level of depression, and it's a lot. There's a lot you can do. And yes, depression thrives in the absence of curiosity and hope. And I knew you, and it, like, we were also dealing with COVID, so there just was a
Mhm.
lot of things were shut down. I mean, I'm sure the story is not original. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's common. Things were shut down, and I knew you. I knew our, like, uh, our hard, um, you're kind of you're someone who likes to achieve. You like to set goals. That's just how you're happiest. And it was scary. And so we talked about that. We were like, create, I don't care, make up your schedule. And then you said you were kind of running your friends ragged because
Oh my gosh.
you're like, we got to be to Hobby Lobby by 10 a.m. And they're like, we do? Why do we?
Yes.
Because it says it on my schedule. I have an appointment with Hobby Lobby. And I was just like willing to throw anything at this. I'm like, I'll order you what I did, I ordered you a nail kit. And
Oh yeah. There were lots of gifts happening.
I will buy your way out of this depression.
I remember texting you and being like, Mom, my friends and I really want to go to Ulta and I'm really sad. And you're like, all right, send me a Venmo.
Ulta was our therapist. I'm sorry to be so shallow, but that was my go-to back pocket move when you were a teenager. And anytime you hit a little bad patch, we're like, okay, we're going, get in the car, we're going to Ulta.
It's true.
Why?
Like every single rough patch I can remember, there were Ulta trips involved.
I just want to, commend us for being so deep. We run deep. There's no depression or sadness a little eyeshadow can't fix. Or no, not eye. We don't do eyeshadow anymore. A little glowy stick can't
Glowy
fix.
stick.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So I hope that properly addresses the fact that we take depression seriously, and I was not implying otherwise. Nobody said anything about it, but I felt guilty because that's what we do. I mean, why? I just love to feel guilty about things nobody's pointed out, or
Yeah.
I love creating problems that don't exist.
Worrying about things that no one else is worried about.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of felt myself getting emotional. That would have been something.
I saw some tears in your eyes.
Sheesh. Thinking about going back, and have such a clear memory of that FaceTime when you were so sad, and it was kind of a nightmare, but that's what parents, and yeah, that's life.
Mm-hmm.
We're not unique. So you have a favorite?
Favorites. Okay, I don't really have a different favorite from last week, but I had a couple of people reach out with scarf hacks. Last week I mentioned scarves.
Yeah.
Satin scarves. And my good friend Livy Lansing sent me a hack. This isn't necessarily the right scarf that the video had, but you can use a satin scarf as a purse strap. And the one she sent me had like a thicker scarf, and it was so cute. But here's a visual of it. I have this this purse that the strap comes off. So I put the scarf on it, and I think that with a thicker scarf, it would be even cuter. But so cute,
oh
right?
My gosh, I absolutely love that.
So adorable. And then my friend Katie sent me a picture of can you hold this?
Yeah.
It was like in the hair like this.
That is so cute. Please do that sometime.
Okay, maybe I'll do it next week. But
I love that. And
like that.
have you had that scarf?
Yeah.
Oh, I love polka dots. Love polka dots. That is darling.
Yeah.
I have a little silk scarf tied as a bow on the backpack that I got that idea from you, but that's the one that I
Yes.
thought I was going to wear in my hair.
Yeah.
We should both wear scarves next week.
Okay.
And anyone who has a good scarf picture, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Okay. We'll
Here's
style scarves next week.
okay, here's my favorite thing. So I have always had thin hair, always. And I remember like in basketball, being so jealous of my girlfriends that would have those thick ponytails that would sway back and forth. And mine was like literally, this was, was this thin as my pinky, this like
Sorry.
furry, whatever. So let's just say I've never been blessed in the hair department. And so then yeah, you hit like menopause or whatever. Again, I'm sorry for talking about it or like I don't I think we should just be more matter of fact about these things. But menopause and my hair started coming out like crazy. So these are my favorite things. I've been doing them for about a year, and since I've started them, um, it's been gradual, but it didn't hit me until recently. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting big clumps of hair out in the drain, and I can feel a difference in my hair. And Dad said too that he thinks my hair has gotten thicker in the last year.
Really?
Yeah, I think it stopped. I think these two things that I've been doing stopped it from falling out. Now, if you even think I know how to be sponsored, I wouldn't even know how to begin to be sponsored. So I'll go ahead and say that I'm not sponsored by these things. Like I'd know how to be sponsored anyway, but and I don't sell this stuff either. But and I don't even know if our BFF,
I know. I don't know if Kelly sells it
yeah,
anymore.
I don't know if Kelly sells it anymore, but I'm sure you could find someone who does. But Monet drops on my scalp after I get out of the shower. That definitely helps. It's not cheap, and neither is this next thing. But these are the two things I started about a year ago, and definitely have changed my hair and made it thicker. Nutrafol, you see tons of ads for that. It costs an arm and a leg. They tell you that you're supposed to take 4 a day. I started doing that, and now I take 2 a day. Um, I think this thing costs $80.
Mm-hmm. I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. For me, it's just stupid the beauty standards we have. Like men get to go bald, and women have to. Yeah, we can't.
That's true.
So, I mean, we can, but we not if we're succumbing to beauty standards.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, so those are my favorite things. We are out of time, and one of our wonderful, wonderful listeners, Anne, wants us to talk about transitions and like empty nesting, but I think we'll expand that and talk to about transitions in life and how we can manage that in our house with decorating and there's way too much to say on that to start now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, can I say this? My sisters are bullying me, and they were like, "What's with the pillow on your
I
lap?"
saw that.
Like, it's called a disguise. It's called I'm hiding. Same why I like to wear glasses. And
They called you out.
yeah, like, why you have a pillow on your lap?
Is that a new fashion trend?
How'd you like this pillow in your face, Gail and Katie? So I made it through a whole episode without a pillow on my lap, and it absolutely was meant to hide behind. That's why I had it. I love a pillow on my lap. I love glasses on my face, a hat on my head, a bag over my face. Well, that's all we got. We just can't thank you enough for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys. This is so fun.
Yeah. Have a great day and keep us in the loop on what's going on in your life. In the comments, we live for that stuff.
We do. Bye, guys.
Bye.